Good morning. It's Throwback Thursday, and you're listening to C Major Before the Show. We're going to begin today's episode with a snippet from our previous episode where we talked about piano lessons in the 21st century. But thank you for being here today. Thank you so much. And so when we come back, we'll also say some thank yous to some very special people that we've been able to connect with online. And we have lots more to share, so stick with us. But here's that snippet. And you are here with me on C Major Before the Show. Thank you so much for being here on this Saturday. It's Saturday evening. And we're here with you. We're so glad that you could join us today. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be with you. And we are talking about piano lessons today. And our sound may be a little bit different today. We're doing things a little bit differently today. So I hope that's okay with you. And we're also live. We're live right here on a Saturday evening. Really, it's early evening. And we're going to check on a couple of things because I believe this weekend is the weekend we're supposed to fall back. So I hope you will stick around for us to take a look at that as well. But I asked a big question yesterday. I wanted to know if you were satisfied with your piano lessons. I believe the question was, are you getting what you want out of piano lessons? And that's how we promote today's show. And so the reason for that is because I'm in constant conversation with my students, and it's just fascinating some of the things that they share, when it comes to their piano lessons. They really are thinking that they want to get the most from their lessons. So what does that mean? What does that mean for me as their teacher? What does it mean for them? What does it mean in some cases for their parents? If they're looking to their parents to provide the lessons. And if they are adult students, what does it mean for them and their families? So we're here in the 21st century. I'm posing this question. I think I posed it before on the podcast, but I'm asking it again. It's something that we'll ask from time to time. It's not a poll question. By the way, I have introduced a poll on this podcast, and in the past, we've used one particular polling platform, if we can call it that, and in the future, I may decide to use more than one. Okay, so I hope you'll stick around for that as well. You're listening to C Major Before the Show. I'm your host, C Major Porter. I'm going to come back in just a few moments, and we'll start our conversation about the remaining chords, and we'll talk about some other topics as well. So stay with us. And you are here live again. This is a Thursday this time, not a Saturday. And that was just a snippet from one of our previous podcasts. As you know, we are available download on demand here on C Major Before the Show. And so feel free to go back to our numerous episodes and fish around for what you want to hear. I had a student that was telling me they were able to go back and listen to some of the shout outs, which is very encouraging for them. And so I always like to hear that. I like to hear that you are finding ways to tune in and stay connected with us, because that's what we're trying to do with you. So it's a difficult time that we're in. It's a confusing time. It's a time of conflict and reflection and just to really try to get a grasp of what's going on with this COVID-19 situation. So I wasn't even sure what to call today's episode, so I just called it Music Making Tips for E-Learning During COVID-19. I think that's the best we can do right now, is just really try to encourage you to stay plugged in, stay engaged If you have a dream of music making, I know for me, I have some dreams that I am definitely trying to make come true during this time, because you don't know if tomorrow is promised, period. You just don't know. And so it's important to really reflect and think, have I done everything I wanted to do with my life at this point? Have I really done everything? What have I been holding back on? Music making may be one of those things. Maybe you said, I want to learn to play piano one day. Or, I see my iPad sitting over there. I've thought of trying to use that to connect with this really groovy program, the software program that's built into my computer. Maybe now is a good time to do that. I would say, yeah, just jump in and just start doing it. I mean, you can't go wrong with just trying something, especially on an iPad. So whether your dream has been to compose music, start with loops, start with something simple. Don't worry about the visual. It may be a little confusing at first, but you'll get there. You'll get there if you really want to do it. Now, we want to say some thank yous to some students, to some parents, to some colleagues, to some friends that we've been able to stay in contact with across this whole situation here that we're going through in the world. And I just want to say thank you and just to applaud you. Thank you so much. You just don't know what it means to really hear from people from the heart, and they want to stay connected with you. And it would be so easy for them to just say, I'm just going to focus on my own family. I'll get with you when this whole thing blows over. But I really feel that there are some people trying to connect, and they're trying to connect in a genuine way. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And then this thought came to mind. I'm seeing artists online giving money out to their fans, and I thought that was really touching. I thought, wow, if I were at that level, I would do the same thing. If I could right now, if I had $100,000, I would give $500 to all of my Facebook friends. And I really mean that. I think that you see people that are struggling, and if I had the $100,000 right now, I would definitely give it to you, and to give a little piece off to to help out. $500 per Facebook friend, I think would help a little bit. Even if you just say, I'm going to take that $500 and put it in my bank account and save it for a rainy day, another rainy day. But just know that my heart is with you. And so, as we all try to figure it out, we're doing things over the distance. We are distance learning. We're learning on iPad. We're learning online. There are some places that I discovered as recently as this week where you can go on and learn lessons from some of those rock stars that we're talking about, the people who have the money to give out, or they're saying, you know what, maybe I need money myself. I'm a rock star. You wanted to connect with me. And so I'm charging for lessons because all of my gigs have been canceled. And if you have the money, you might just pay that rock star. You might just say, you know what, you're worth it. Or you're worth more than what I'm paying right now. But I'm so grateful for the connection that I'm going to give you some money for piano lessons. We have a lot of that stuff going on. So I'm going to try to go around online with you so you can find some of those places and think about if you'd like to plug into those as well. Now, we are live. I wasn't sure I was going to go live, but here we are. And so what I'm going to do is just give you some food for thought. We may decide to put it together in a poll after this. You know how much I love to do my polls. So just think about what you would do if you had an iPad and you were tasked with the thought of composing music. Would you find that interesting? Think about what it would mean to you. Would you find it enjoyable? You know how much we really try to push the idea of having fun and finding the funny in music making. And compared with other activities that you would do. Let's say if you're a student and you would normally do something at school in the form of singing or making music with your group of friends, how interesting do you think it would be to try to make music on your own on an iPad and come up with something original? And so think about that. Just think about what it would mean to you for e-learning. And do you think it's important to compose music? All of these questions are running through my mind, as I think and in some cases overthink what it would be like for you to jump into music making for the first time as an e-learning activity. Would you find it challenging? Or would you prefer just to write your own ideas on paper first and then try to switch over to something like iPad? What is it from a student's perspective? I have some experience with that because as I've dealt with students in person, I can see they have different ideas, like it's a different experience for them to be mobile. That I know what it meant to me to play classical music. I know what it felt like to try to play popular music. And so how would you go about learning that classical piece that you wanted to learn, that Beethoven piece that everybody knows that's been overplayed, but it still means something to you to play something like that? How would it be to learn to play your favorite popular song? So I know I have students that have their own groups in their minds that they really, really, really want to see if they can play. I posted one of those on social media the other day. So I'll talk a little bit about that. And so what are some of the limitations that you may run into? So let's say if you found your favorite software online and you were trying to play it as if you were actually playing a guitar and you're seeing the frets and the fretboard on the screen, how easy would it be for you to make the music that you want to make? Would you have to switch the octaves? Would you have to do something else to make it sound like you want to? Let's just go ahead and say it in GarageBand. So let's say if you wanted to compose something on strings on GarageBand, how accurate do you think you would be able to be on GarageBand? So I have some experience with this. Let me just say that when you work with an engineer, again, I think I said this yesterday as well on the podcast, that the idea is not to say that I'm cheating by playing this on a software program as opposed to playing it on the actual instrument. If you want to play it on the actual instrument, there are some recording procedures that you have to follow for that. But why not try to do it virtually and then make it sound as close as possible? Sometimes music will sound close. It really depends on your plugins. It really depends on the software program that you're working with. Are you working with something that's free? Are you working with something that's beyond free? And just explore the alternatives. Just really explore it, because you may find that music making is a little easier than you think it is if you do it online as opposed to just doing it on the instrument itself. You're seeing a lot of that too. You're seeing a lot of that on social media where you have some of the world's greatest musicians. And I do mean some of the world's most renowned musicians just playing away on their real instruments. And I just wonder if it ever occurred to them they could probably get the same result by working with software. I wonder if they ever thought about doing something like that. Anyway, hopefully that gives you some food for thought. It's from the student's perspective, it's from the teacher's perspective, and I'm going to keep going. I want to be able to write about some of my experiences that I've had with families and music making and what it means to have music in their home across generations and things like that. So stay tuned for that. Now, before we leave you today, I'm going to go online with you. We're about 15 minutes in, and I'm going to see if I can go online with you. So you're going to hear the music playing in the background as we go. I may turn it up just a little bit while I do my search and then bring it back down again. But you're here with me on C Major Before the Show. Okay, so we are live. Let me just lower my music here for a moment. And I was something that I found out recently. Check it out for yourself. Go to meethook.com. Now, there is an app for this too. So if you go to the Apple Store, you can download the app on the Apple Store and use Meethook on the web and or the mobile app. So it looks like you can do both. And so we were talking about this just among teachers the other day and just trying to find out ways that we could stay connected with each other online. But check this out. Meethook is a socially responsible platform that unites professionals with their followers via paid one-on-one live video calls. How cool is that? So I had some friends that were wondering how they could make money while they were out, and because they are independent, to the point that they won't be able to make it unless they have someone paying them as they are trying to teach online. But just one caution: when you see the word professionals in this sentence, just be very cautious that they are talking about professionals. How easy would it be for a music teacher to just jump in and be on something like this? I'm not sure, because I think what they're looking for people who have had a serious recording career. Same thing with music cares. Before they help you out, they really want to know, have you been a top earner in the music industry? So were you one of those artists that put out 5 albums, for instance? You have to qualify. So just be cautious of that. But let's turn the tables a little bit. So let's say if you are a learner, if you are a student, and you have somebody that you really revere in the music industry, and your dream would be to connect with them one-on-one during a live video call and say, hey, I took lessons with Bon Jovi today, or I took lessons with some other big name. That was the first name that came to mind, not sure why. But if they are available on this platform, you can actually connect with them. So I'm going to be looking a little bit further into this. I don't want to go into it a whole lot today because, again, we're just on briefly before we see you again on tomorrow, and then for our big podcast episode on Saturday, which we normally do Saturday afternoons into the evening. See us for our normal broadcast on Saturday here at C Major before the show, and then of course see us a little bit later over at the C Major radio show, where we really try to tap into the documentation of music making. So that's one thing. Now the other hot thing right now is, and I believe they're using Instagram a lot. Like a lot of DJs are using Instagram for their music making. And it's not so much about learning, it really is about entertaining you and keeping you connected through music. A lot of people are saying that it's really keeping them sane right now, just to hear a DJ set. I know for me, I love hearing long DJ sets, especially when it's house music. I love house music. And we'll talk about that another time, my love for house music. But acapella is another app. So let me just see if I type acapella, if it will come up. Now, if you saw this example, I think it was posted on Instagram or some other platform. It's all over the place. Everybody's talking about it. We're this group, I think they sang Over the Rainbow, and then something else. But it looks like they were doing it live. They were not doing it live. What they did was they went on, they were able to mix their sound to fit into this Brady Bunch appearance that you see. Everybody has their own block and they are synced. So there's a way to do that. Now, when I looked into acapella, what my friends didn't tell me was that you have to pay for this. So beyond recording 1 minute, I think there may be a trial period where you can record more than 1 minute, but I think typical recording time is about 1 minute unless you pay what they're asking you to pay to use that app. So acapella is ACAPPELLA. Now I'm going to see if I can put it together as one word, and if it will show up as an app in my Google search. But a lot of people are looking into this, the ones that are technically proficient and the ones that may not be so technically proficient. So here it is in my Google search, acapella app. Okay, here it is. And it's really brilliant. It lets you record, it lets you synchronize and share songs. And it's kind of like Instagram, but for multiple part vocal harmonies. But I think you can also make music instrumentally too. So if you just wanted to go on and record yourself, maybe playing piano, or maybe even somehow duetting with yourself, if that makes sense. I'm going to look into it and see what happens, because you can only upload to Instagram for about a minute anyway, I think, unless they relax that. But guess what? The app was just released not too long ago. And, when I say not too long ago, I mean like maybe a few years ago. But it's becoming more and more popular, as we have seen here during COVID-19, where people are looking for something to do. Now, if you go to mixchord.com, that's the name of the company. Actually, it's mixchord.co. So mixchord.co, you can find it there. Also available on the App Store. So connect with acapella singers, connect with karaoke, all of you karaoke singers out there who are making recreational music. You can record, you can edit, you can share some of your original music, all from your mobile device. How cool is that? And you can sing and play and collaborate with up to 9 instruments or musicians. So again, I wonder what it would feel like to try to connect with myself and maybe play a piece that I've written and then try to solo over that or add to it. So I may be trying this out and then I'll report back to you. But it appears that a lot of people are looking into it. Okay, so good luck with that. I hope we gave you some food for thought today. I really hope we did. If you care to find us on social media, go to our classroom at cmajorporter.com. Over there, you'll see that we posted in blog form. We posted something that was fun. It was about courting along to recorded music. But again, in the interest of making your own music, how would you make music on your iPad and then find a way to upload that or replicate that on an app such as Acapella? So good luck with that. Also see us over at Music Glue. So if you go to Music Glue, you'll see our other blog that we have over there. And by the way, Music Glue is really intended for us to sell things over there. We just haven't gotten to that point yet where we have decided to sell anything. I really kind of stayed away from that until we get more up and running as a real business, so to speak. And when I say real business, I mean being in that bracket where I can give out $500 to my Facebook friends and say, here, I'm just going to spend $100,000 on you. And love to you all and see you online again soon. That would be my way of giving back in a crisis situation, perhaps. But we're not there yet. We're going to get there. I want to be able to build a really big company and to know that I've provided jobs for my musician friends and those who need work, and to really take care of them and to pay a fair wage. That's what I'm looking to do. This COVID-19 thing really has made me think about my life and what I want to do going forward, and to be of real help to society and not just be one of the ones looking for handouts all the time, but not to get too personal. Check us out. C Major's Sunday morning service. That was the last thing I wrote there from this past Sunday, March 22nd. And we may do it again. I may do something different this time because you know what? I need to rehearse. I need to woodshed, as they call it, and really practice a little bit more and get my chops in shape. But now I play classical music mainly for personal enjoyment and maybe for a community presentation with my friends as a collab musician. But I don't really do classical music solo anymore, not for competitions or anything like that. After I started writing my own music, that was it. I found my freedom and I said, okay, I'm sticking with it. So, you know, when you're writing your own original music, you have to feel compelled to write. At least I do. And I think I talked about this once where I had a friend that was saying to me, oh, I'm not waiting for a feeling. I'm not waiting to feel compelled to write. I'm just writing. So there's that too. You can be really cerebral about it. And I have a colleague that says too, you know, just to write from your mind, not necessarily write from your feelings. But everybody's different. Write how you can write. So see us on musicblue.com, see us on cmajorporter.com, see us over at Twitter. You're going to see this post, if you haven't seen it already, where we're podcasting live today as our Throwback Thursday. Also, look for our photo that we posted. It was all in great fun. We posted a picture of what it would look like if we had our own magazine. So that was from years ago, about 8 years ago. They made it possible for you to kind of, you know, make up your own front cover, magazine cover, and to, you know, cut and paste your picture inside of, well, you'll see it. You'll know what I'm talking about. It's just something fun to do. Okay, now I'm going to go to Facebook. And you know, you can find us on Facebook on our public page. I also have a private page where nobody connects with me unless they really know me. But those are the friends that I was talking about supporting. So my friends, my friends who know me, they know that they will connect with me because they know me and they know what I used to do. And it's so funny. I'm going to do this throwback. I hope it doesn't get taken down. But that was back in my old days when I was in professional audio. So for Throwback Thursday, we're going to celebrate with this picture. So you hear me typing here. Okay, so there I posted that. And now I'm going to go to the page that I manage, which is C Major Before the Show, named after our podcast. And you'll see a new logo as well. We published the logo that was given to us via Spreaker. So thank you, and shout out again to Spreaker. I love you guys. Thank you. So we're hoping to do a little bit more advertising as well on Spreaker as we go forward, because I want more people listening to the podcast. We pretty much decided, after consistently talking about the things that we talked about, that this is what it's going to be. And so now we can just go up from here. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for your support. Music making tips for e-learning during COVID-19. It was Throwback Thursday here and today, and that's what we were talking about. And we celebrated. We started with a snippet from our past episode on what it means to make music here in the 21st century. And thank you for listening. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. Make the best music that you can make. And we'll plan to see you on tomorrow. It's going to be Friday tomorrow. And we'll see you then. Have a good day, everybody. Take care.